tie-up is called. Iowa has possession, so we'll stay with them. But Caitlin Clark is confused as to how that was not a foul, as Warnock was sent to the hardwood by Leah Boston.
All over Warnock's arm. I can understand the frustration.
And the head banged hard for Warnock. Iowa does have 2 timeouts if they need to use them. Here is Clark. 10 on the shot clock. Clark guarded by Beal. Clark is fouled by Beal.
Not a bad foul. They had 2 to give.
That's
Not
right.
a bad foul.
What it does do is put time back on the shot clock. So Iowa can run a little more clock here. Into Sonato. Wants to get it to Clark. Clark going baseline. Wraps it out. Warnock trying to get it back to Clark. 10 to shoot. 25 to go. Here is Clark. A deep one. No. Rebound Warnock. Warnock backs it out to Clark. South Carolina has to foul. They're not. Now they do. One more before they put Iowa at the line. And Dawn Staley instructs her team to do so. Huge offensive rebound for Iowa on a night when South Carolina has dominated the offensive glass.
Iowa with timeouts in case they cannot inbound the ball cleanly.
Peyton Martin will be the one to inbound it. Trying to get it in, gets it to Clark. Clark is fouled, and Caitlin Clark will go to the line with a chance to make this a 2-possession lead for Iowa with 13.5 to go. Clark. Cash. Family can barely stomach it. Here's the big one. She got it. A semifinal record, 39 points from Caitlin Clark. And a 4-point lead for Iowa with 13.5 to go. Clark has the last 11 for the Hawkeyes. And there it is, the record. 39 in the semifinal. This young woman has seen the expectations ascend to levels we haven't experienced maybe ever in the women's college game. And she keeps delivering.
Against the best defensive team in the country with some of the best perimeter defenders in the country. She has still delivered.
Now how does South Carolina operate here?
You got to go quick, that is for sure.
Here's Cook. Cook will fire. No. Rebound is put back in by Johnson. And South Carolina has life thanks to another offensive rebound. And some big buckets in the second half by the freshman Raven Johnson. Now Iowa spends a timeout. They have 1 remaining with 9.9 to go in this fourth.
Going quick was more important than whether you got a 2 or a 3. And so South Carolina still certainly has plenty of life left.
Both teams in the bonus. Iowa down to 1 timeout remaining. South Carolina with 2, which means they will be able to advance the basketball. Iowa trying to hand South Carolina its first loss since March 6th of 2022. And can Iowa get the ball into the hands of Caitlin Clark here?
Well, that would be their priority. Number 1, getting the ball in and all. But then number 2, getting it into the hands of Caitlin Clark. Lisa Bluter right there. The inbound is happening in front of her. If she needs to use a timeout, if they can't get it in cleanly, she can do that.
Martin, the trusted inbounder. Gets it to Clark. Clark not fouled immediately. Now she is with 8.1 to go. And that will be number 5 for Brea Beal as she fouls out in what could be her final game. She is WNBA bound. A terrific run in South Carolina, and we will see if it ends tonight. Two more huge free throws here for Clark. 4 of 4 from the line tonight. She has 39 points. Clark got it. A 40-point semifinal for Caitlin Clark. This to make it a 2-possession lead again. Oh, yeah. Timeout, South Carolina. 77-73. Iowa in front. Nails at the line from Caitlin Clark. This Iowa fan base has been unreal. Deafening in Seattle. Same story here tonight in Dallas. Want to send love out to everybody in Iowa City who are dealing with some very extreme weather tonight. Sending all of our thoughts your way. As Iowa has a 4-point lead with 8.1 to go. And now, Rebecca, I ask you, in this instance, if you're South Carolina, are you going for the 3?
I think you have to. I think you have to. With only 8.1 left, and the way Caitlin Clark and Iowa have been able to convert their free throws, I think you have to go for 3 here.
Johnson to inbound. Iowa leads by 4. Boston will fire a 3. No. Banged around. Out of bounds. Iowa ball. With 2.9 to go. The fate is determined at this point. .9 remaining, and Iowa with the 4-point lead and the basketball. And this dominant run from this historic class of South Carolina on the brink of ending here tonight. Martin will inbound. Martin gets it into Clark. Clark races away, and the mythical mastery of Caitlin Clark continues. Iowa has conquered South Carolina. The Hawkeyes are headed to the national championship game. And South Carolina's undefeated season ends tonight in Dallas. Aaliyah Boston consoling Zia Cook, the seniors and defending national champs. who have been so consistently excellent since getting to Columbia, and there it is, the final moments for Caitlin Clark in Iowa.
All season, this young woman has led this team to a place that they have not been since 1993 in terms of Iowa. And wow, her teammates have followed in a big way. What a performance.
She scored or assisted on every single point of the fourth quarter for Iowa, and Caitlin is with Holly Rowe.
Well, it was such a hard night for you that you're cramping in the celebration huddle. How did this team do it? Very few thought you could.
All we did was believe in each other. You know, we might even not be the tallest. You know, we knew they were going to beat us on the glass, but all we had to do was have some heart and some belief. And, you know, we came through when we needed big plays, and I'm just so proud of this group, man.
Your coach told you earlier today that common people can do uncommon things. How did this group keep the circle tight when it mattered the most to finish this out?
You know, all we do is believe in one another, and we love each other to death. And that's what a true team is. You know, if you want an example of a team, that's what this is. Coach Butter knows how to create a team. She knows how to create a culture where everybody's valued, and I'm just lucky enough to be a part of it. You know, I love these girls to death.
It was a scrappy win, though. Kate Martin defending like crazy. People fighting their lives for rebounds. How hard was it?
Man, it was physical. You got to give them a lot of credit. They're a tremendous team. They've had a tremendous year. Obviously, so well coached. And, you know, they killed us on the glass, but we never hung our heads. You know, we just came right back down every single possession and got after it.
Caitlin, I know it's not about you, but this is an unbelievable performance for you. How did you have ice in your veins tonight?
You know, just a belief. We had nothing to lose. You know, I have all the confidence in this world, in this group, and, you know, they believe right back in me, and that's all you need is just teammates that believe in you, coaches that believe in you, a program and a university that supports you, the state of Iowa. You know, they supported me like no other, and I love it.
You scored almost every single point for Iowa since it was 62 to 60. Do you understand what you've just done?
No, honestly not, but, you know, all that matters is that we won at the end of the day, and the scoreboard says that the Iowa Hawkeyes won, and that's exactly what we did.
All right, let's see you in the national championship game. How does that sound?
There, that sounds amazing.
What a night from Caitlin Clark. Back-to-back 40-point games. We'll see you Sunday on ABC, 3:30 Eastern. Our coverage starts at 2:30. LSU and Iowa. Iowa takes down South Carolina. For our producer, Kerry Callahan, our director, Jimmy Platt, Andrea Carter, Holly Rowe, and the Hall of Famer, Rebecca Lobo. I'm Ryan Rucco. Coming up next, it's SportsCenter. What a night in Dallas.
What a night in Dallas indeed. After the Elite Eight, Caitlin Clark said she dreamed as a little girl to take a team to the Final Four. All you got to do is just dream. Michael, how about a national championship instead? That was an instant classic we saw on ESPN.
You know, we wanted...
Really nowhere as she comes up to join us on set. She's making her way. She's getting her ears in. It's so loud she won't be able to hear any of the questions.
Sure. Let me move over.
We're running out of adjectives to describe her, but some of my text messages today have been absurd, insane, ridiculous, filthy, nasty. How will you describe Caitlin Clark, who is now joining us here on the set? Caitlin. Right, like, Caitlin Clark.
Wait a minute.
I love that you're looking at the box score. Caitlin, let me just try very quickly to summate what you've just done. Not only, Caitlin, are you the second player ever, you can't hear. Not only, we're going to let your ears together because this is
not only are you the second player ever
to score at least 40 in a semi. The first being Cheryl Swoops.
The first being
But you
Cheryl
are the first person in the history of the women's tournament to have back-to-back 40-point games.
You got that?
How do you feel to hear that, Caitlin?
You got that? First person, women's tournament, back-to-back 40-point game. Okay.
What's it like to hear that, Caitlin, to make that kind of history here en route to the national championship?
Look at these fans. This is incredible. I don't even know what to say. I just love this place. I love these fans. Man, we're living the dream, though. Why not win one more basketball game?
This is incredible.
We're letting her take the moment in right now. I mean, we are in Texas, and I'm not great at geography, but last I checked,
hold on. I got two here. Here you go.
And we're also joined by Coach Lisa Luter. It's really hard to hear, Coach, and we're trying to rectify that.
That's because those are Hawk fans.
Thank you. Listen, what do you think about the... Texas is not near Iowa. Look at this arena
amazing.
filled with your fans.
Hey, if you want to play women's basketball, you come to the state of Iowa and play for Coach Luter. That's what you do. They support us like no other. This turnout doesn't surprise me by any means, and I think more than anything, they can appreciate the basketball that was just played today. On both ends of the floor, that was tremendous basketball. You have to give all the credit in the world to South Carolina. They killed us on the glass, but all we did was keep our head up and come back and keep attacking. And at the end of the day, we wanted to have a tight circle and be a team, and that's what we do. And man, I just love these girls so much. I love Coach Luter.
Oh my! I love me some Caitlin Clark.
I can imagine.
But Coach, you came into this game with a plan. And watching your team carry it out for 40 minutes, even in timeouts, I saw Jan looking at the players and keeping them locked in, focused, so focused. How were you able to do that?
We've been talking about being mission focused a lot this year, and we had a game plan, and these guys executed so well. But we kept talking about mission focus because you're never safe. Even when there was 2-point-whatever seconds, I was still nervous. So, that is South Carolina we just beat, folks. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
First team out of the last 40, they had a 42-game winning streak going, and you just ended their season. Absolutely incredible.
Well, since we're this close, I gotta be honest. I've been on TV all day saying that y'all couldn't do it. I'll be straight up. Like you, I said, Maria's gonna get her numbers. She's dynamic, but I don't think they got enough of that. So I owe y'all an apology.
Listen, no, you don't. Honestly, nobody in this building that was not wearing black and gold thought Iowa was going to win. But the 15 women in the circle, that's all that mattered. Our staff, that's all that mattered. We honestly believed all week we could do it.
How does it feel for you, Coach Luter, 23 years, and you are in the national championship for the first time? Like, what is going through your mind right now?
Yeah, right now I'm just enjoying this. And we'll go back and prepare for LSU and get after that tomorrow. It's a short turnaround with the game being on Sunday afternoon, but I just got to let these guys enjoy it for a minute. They deserve to enjoy this for a minute, but then I got to bring them back down.
But Caitlin, if I can ask you, the way that you were able to manipulate the game, it was like whenever you wanted to take the three, you got the three. When you needed to pass it, you did. And the drive to the right, that right-hand layup, that was just like free money down the sideline. How were you able to manipulate the game the way you did?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was using change of speed tonight. They're tremendous defenders. They were all up over me, but, I believe I can get around anybody. I thought I got to the basket well, and I thought, they were out guarding our post, around the free throw line, which I thought was interesting, but that's why I was able to get to the basket, because we pulled their post away from the basket, and I was able to finish around the rim without their huge shot blockers down there. So we ran a ton of screening action, and we saw that work on film, so credit to our coaches, and I thought it gave them a lot of trouble, and I was able to finish. I would have liked to make a couple more threes. That would have been nice. I had a few that I thought were down, but all that matters is we won, so I'm happy.
One of the things that we love watching, apart from you and your showmanship and playing into the crowd, is nervous cam on your family all game long.
I'm sure they were crazy tonight.
They're just so nervous. We just saw you go in and talk to your family. Like, what did they say to you about this moment?
I think more than anything is they've been there with me through it all. They probably believed in me more than I ever believed in myself. My older brother, I always wanted to be like him growing up, and my little brother always wanted to be like me. And, I think I play like I had two brothers. I kind of play like a boy. But they pushed me like no other. My dad was a really good college athlete, and, if you knew my dad, he's the most chill, relaxed person. My mom's a crazy, nervous one. So I got a little bit of both from them. But, they're my biggest support system, and I'm lucky that I get to share moments like these with them.
I apologize to all of Hawkeye Nation that we couldn't get to a single shot and now attached to me.
Twinsies.
It's a dream come true.
Likewise.
You have this look. Ever since the loss, your last loss, you have this look as you are on a mission. Think about this. When somebody says to you, now Caitlin Clark, you will be playing for a national championship.
It's incredible, but, I always believed I could be in situations like that, and the other person that believed is this person sitting right here next to me. She had all the belief in the world in me, and really, we were the only two that believed. And then once we had the locker room believe, incredible things like this happen. win some. I'm just lucky to be in this position, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my tremendous teammates. You know, the way they played defense tonight. Gabby Marshall doesn't score, but she guards like no other, and that can't go unnoticed.
I was going to say, luck plays a little bit, but also you guys just took that win. You went on that court and you took that win. It was a beautiful display of basketball, and what a way to do it, a platform to do it on in front of a national stage. Two fantastic games, and now Coach Bluder and Caitlin Clark, you guys are headed to the title game. Congrats. We're going to let you go celebrate with your fans and your team. You haven't even had a chance to like towel off or get a glass of water, so we're going to let you go, but we will see you on Sunday. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Coach.
All right.
It's one of those situations. It's one of those situations where you're like, okay, now that they're gone, let's spill the tea.
Yeah.
But there really is. Listen, what more is there to say, right? There was this belief this whole time that the only way South Carolina could be beat is if they beat themselves. But to say that, not that they didn't have mistakes, but to say that would minimize what we just saw Iowa do on the court.
It is amazing how Iowa was able to score on South Carolina's defense. It wasn't necessarily South Carolina's breakdowns, but it was Iowa just being able to make plays, especially when Caitlin Clark would get in the middle of the floor, the ball screen, and then Zanano slipped to the basket and get wide open looks. Like they were able to pick their poison. Basketball is a game of mistake, but who gets the advantage? And Iowa just seemed to be able to take care of every situation.
I think as much as we discussed how do you defend Caitlin Clark, I cannot praise their defense enough in this ball game, right? Stephanie Sorensen was on set hanging out with us. She's one of our colleagues, analysts, reporters, terrific basketball analyst over at SEC Network. So she's been with South Carolina all year through their conference play. So I said to her, I knew this wasn't a great three-point shooting team, but goodness gracious, Iowa has really exposed the lack of. You can't have a player on the floor that's not looking at the basket. You just can't do that. And so I think give a ton of credit to Coach Bluder and her staff for playing a defense that we haven't really seen against them that blatantly all season. Like they took that gamble and stuck with it.
If I would have told you before the game that Monica Zanano, right, who is the Robin to Caitlin Clark's Batman, would be in foul trouble and would not play as much, and they would still beat South Carolina, you would have called me a liar. And again, it's all credit to a team that does not use their bench, right, but a team that knows their roles and just played lights out tonight.
But they did get play from their bench. They got their punch game was able to come in, even with Zanano in foul trouble, and battle with some of the best bigs in the country.
I mean, honestly, y'all, if we look at this box score and didn't look at points, South Carolina got 38 points out of their bench compared to 6. South Carolina had 46 points in the paint compared to 18. South Carolina got 17 points off of turnovers. Iowa got 18 points off of turnovers. You might be like, huh, on that one.
And
South Carolina out
rebounded shot 24.
And Iowa only hit 7 threes.
Right.
I would have told you South Carolina won this game going away.
Except for what I tell you Iowa needed to get to.
70.
You did say 70.
And they got to 77. And that was the point of where I didn't know if South Carolina could score enough to keep up with the production of Iowa.
We would be remiss, though, to not take a second and talk about what we witnessed from South Carolina, not in this game, but in general. 42 wins in a row. UConn and what they did a few years ago with their 111-game win streak, I think people were a little apathetic to win streaks because of it. That is insane. You have both played this game, you coached this game, 42 straight wins.
Child, I got L's a part of that win streak by UConn, too.
Right, see, there you go. He was in that win streak. When you talk about this senior class, Aaliyah Boston and Bree Beal and Zaya Cook, they leave a legacy behind. One loss at Colonial Life in their entire run. And right now, we go over to the opposite, that's the locker room there for Caitlin Clark. And we do have, we are going to be talking to Don Staley. Just put into perspective. It didn't end the way that they wanted. But put into perspective what we saw over the last year for South Carolina.
Over the last 4 years of that senior class, they lost, 9 ball games? They lost 3 in the SEC, now 10.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but that's over a 4-year span. They came into South Carolina as the #1 recruiting class in the country. Aaliyah Boston was the National Player of the Year last year. She's been an All-American since she put on that uniform.
So, you gotta, compliment the accomplishments that they made. They fell short not getting to the title game this season, but they should be extremely proud.
As I mentioned, real quick, because I want to get your perspective on the other end, but we do have Holly standing by in South Carolina's locker room, and she's standing by with Dawn Staley.
Coach, what did you say to your team after this?
I said to my team that there will never be another team like the team that we had. Not in South Carolina, I'm just talking about in women's basketball in general. The senior class, the selflessness that they provided to this entire women's basketball community will never be duplicated.
Hey, Carter, Jenny.
It's hard to finish short of the goal. What is the feeling like in the locker room right now? What are your kids going through?
Yeah, I mean it's heartbreaking. They lay their hearts on the line as they did 37 times this season, and it's the one time. It's the worst time to lose. It's the last your last game, and I feel super sad for our seniors, but I also know that they're prepared for the next step in life, and that that gives me great resolve knowing that they're going to be okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Holly.
And again, obviously disappointed. They did not do what they had set out to do, but they are still champions. They won last year. We heard Dawn say it really took the pressure off of them. We now check in with Aaliyah Boston, last year's National Player of the Year. She's at the podium.
Open up those questions for Coach Staley.
Congratulations to Iowa. Played a tough game. Man, I just think Dallas put on a good show when it comes to the Final Four. Special shout out to the police officers who did a great job moving us around the city.
We'll now open it up for questions for the student athletes. We're going to start with Nancy. And that'll be to your right, ladies.
Nancy Armour, USA Today. Aaliyah, what were they doing to you that you haven't seen other teams do before, and you could come back for a fifth year because of COVID, and I'm just wondering what your plans are going to be for next year?
Yeah, I'll start with that one. Haven't decided as yet. And I don't really think they were doing anything different. I think, they were just being very physical. I think part of that, I feel like every time teams get ready to play us, there's always that agenda of we are so physical, we can take all the aggression. And so I think that was being let go a lot. But I don't think it was anything different. I think it was just a very physical game.
Our next question is going to be in the back corner to the left, ladies.
Lindsay Schnell, USA Today. Aaliyah, obviously this is really disappointing and frustrating to end the season